Hello and welcome to the weather update. It's 9:30, October 9th, 2020, and Hurricane Delta has made a landfall in the same area that Hurricane Laura hit. Fortunately, Delta is coming on shore a lot weaker, has come on shore a lot weaker. It has weakened, luckily. It started weakening just before it was moving inland. So Delta has just moved inland along the southwestern Louisiana coast. Hurricane conditions and storm surge are still occurring within the warning area. Its location as of 7 p.m. 30.0 north, 93.0 west, about 25 miles west southwest of Dennings, Louisiana. And hopefully you can hear me over the plains. We're getting barrage tonight. It's another thing that happens in the middle of the island. Even though JFK is on the south shore, they decided to put all the planes over the middle of the island just because. So maximum sustained winds 90 miles an hour. Present movement north-northeast at 14 miles an hour. Minimum central pressure 971 millibars or 28.67 inches. So max sustained winds are near 90 miles an hour. It's weakening rapidly. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 40 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 160 miles from the center. The Weather Service at Lake Charles reported sustained winds of 64 miles an hour with gusts to 95 at the airport. So it's still getting hit pretty hard over there. This is still a substantial storm. Here's what it looks like on the satellite. You can see it is now inland. You can see the center of it is now in over Louisiana. It looks like it hit the same area that Laura hit. A lot of people wound up evacuating. So hopefully there aren't many people that are there that are dealing with this. A lot of people wound up evacuating, but a lot of them had trouble finding hotel rooms in other areas because a lot of the people were still evacuated from the damage from Laura. So looking at the power outage count, quite a few. Let's go to Louisiana right now. We have 262,903 outages, and more or less, here, just like the last time, we have complete blackouts in these counties, or close to a complete blackout in a lot of these counties, with failures of the transmission system occurring once again in these areas. Let's go ahead and look at Texas. So they have 119,819 out, and again, it's that southeastern corner that is dealing with large amounts of outages. And again, you have substantial amounts of outages, probably affecting the distribution, but also the transmission side of things. So it's going to be another time that there's going to be hopefully a lot of people just evacuated and just avoid that whole area for a while because it's not going to be back to normal now for who knows when. It's really unfortunate. Just another example of the natural disasters we're dealing with as we deal with climate change. So I do want to look at some observations and also the MODIS satellite of Delta. So this is the visible high-resolution satellite of the daylight satellite of Delta. There it is right there, Hurricane Delta. You can see the cloud shield reaching all the way back. And our area, we had mostly sunny skies, except for some unlucky people that had clouds over them, including in the Pine Barrens of Long Island, which is where I was. Unfortunately, we had some clouds that formed right over the middle of the island, unfortunately, and a few also in New Jersey as well. Let's go ahead and look at our current weather outside, and I'm also going to look at the current weather in Louisiana too. So right now we've got temperatures generally in the 60s, low to mid 60s across the area. Put the dew point in there. Humidity's come up a little bit. That's pretty much what it is across the island. It's a little cooler in Toms River, believe it or not. They're in the mid 50s. So isn't that interesting? It's cooler. I guess they're seeing more radiational cooling. Let's look at today's highs, though. I'm going to go to today's high temperatures. So the high temperatures today were and they disappeared, but there they are, mid to upper 60s pretty much. But a little warmer in the city, 68, and in New Jersey was in the low 70s, it looks like. So they were in the low 70s in New Jersey. Let's see what Toms River got up to today. 73, yeah, so significantly warmer in Toms River for the high. 73, even though it's cooler there right now, whereas when you look at areas on Long Island, generally, if we look at Islip, it hit 65. That was the high there. So, yeah, interesting. So, let's go ahead. So warmer during the day, cooler at night. That's what it is in the desert, though. So let's go. Let's go. Let's take a look and see what's going on here in Louisiana with some of these observations. And you got some pretty strong wind gusts here going on. So 73-mile-an-hour wind gust at Arcadia. So definitely getting some very strong wind gusts here in the center of this. Here's a 76-mile-an-hour wind gust at Calico Pass. So some really strong winds gusting. And I would like to actually take a look at the Weather Service from that area and the radar as well from the storm. So we're going to have to look at that too as well. So let's go and look at the radar from Delta here. Let's look at the radar at Lake Charles. Let's get to Lake Charles. Get to their Weather Service. Oh, it's been knocked out. So it looks like that they lost. Yeah, they lost. They don't have any. They've probably lost power and they've lost data. So we'll have to go to the Weather Service office and see what's going on there and see. So here's the radar right there. You can see as a typical the northern part of the storm is the wet side of the storm. Southern part is the dry side of the storm. Let's see if they've put up anything on Twitter as far as storm reports go. So let's take a look at that and see if they have. Again, the same area is getting hit. It's unbelievable. All right, they have some flash flood warnings in effect for some of these rivers because there's heavy rain involved. I was hoping they'd have some wind gust reports on here. I don't see any. I don't see any wind gust reports. I don't know what. Yeah, there goes another plane. Probably gonna have to close the windows and the noise from the planes. It's like I'm living next to an airport. Well, I don't think fly over Lindbergh. It's a lot closer to JFK. No, we don't get that. Let's see if I can get. I really wish they would offer some. Go to local storm reports. I don't think they're gonna have anything, but let's see. Of course, they have a map. Let's see. Why the hell's Kansas City on here? All right, we can't get any reports out of Lake Charles. I wish they would bring some information, but we're not gonna get any. Very interested in the wind gusts in that area over there. But anyway, Hurricane Delta bring heavy rains. Didn't really show any. So it made a landfall near Creole, according to this, according to WDSU. Yeah, this is it's a Category 2, so it made a landfall as a Category 2. So it was weaker, and it is continuing to weaken, and that's the good thing about it. No need to look at the forecast models on this. We'll just take a look and see where things are going to go from here. All right. But you can see there's Delta right there at the surface, but it is weakening, and probably by tomorrow morning it will no longer be a hurricane. Probably, actually, I think it probably may have just maybe 3 to 4 hours left of being a hurricane, maybe, because it is weakening rapidly. So let's look at the upper air. So you can see there's Delta. Here's the ridge that's going to be building in. So what's going to happen is you're going to have this ridge build in. Delta kind of slides under it. We get the remnants Monday. And then you see the problem is we don't have a trough to come and sweep them out. We're going to have to wait a little while. We're going to be dealing with them. And then finally, I think the westerlies will come in on Wednesday and finally push that out. And maybe we could start drawing out. And then next weekend, looks like a really cold shot of air coming in there. If we go look at the European, let's see if the European has come on board and there's an agreement between the two models now. Let's see if we have that agreement. Yep, it's looking a lot more similar now, which is good. Okay, so we're going to go to the surface. What the hell was that? I heard a bang. So let's go to the surface. Hey, I live in the ghetto, all right? Who knows what the hell's going on out there? That's what my town is becoming quickly. It's quite upsetting. So I know it's a strong word to use. That's another subject, but you know, eh, it's hard to avoid talking about it because you deal with it. You don't deal with these sounds in a normal area. I don't know what that bang was. Hope it wasn't a gunshot. It's probably fireworks, hopefully. So here's the remnants of Delta. I will be dry tomorrow. All right, we have the high return flow on the high. They're the remnants. So we see if a high build keeps us dry for Sunday. Then we're dealing with the remnants on Monday. And then the good news is they're out of here by Tuesday. So we're only going to have to deal with them on Monday. And then we'll have high pressure building in and another cold front, and then another nice big high gives us some nice weather next weekend, and more cool air. So we have a good progressive pattern going on, which is very good. So let's go ahead and look at the our local region here. All right, and we will start off first with the temperatures. Try to stay focused. Try to stay focused. All these distractions going on. So it's going to be a lot warmer tomorrow. Temperature's going to get into the mid 70s. We're going to have that southwesterly wind, so it's going to feel a little summer-like, I guess you could say. Sunday, we're a little bit cooler in the mid 60s. And then for Monday, we're going to have that rain from Delta that'll be around. So it's hard to say exactly how much rain we'll get, but probably maybe an inch. It's a little too early to tell. It really is. You can see Tuesday we have that warm air coming in, get up maybe close to 70, and then the cold front comes through, drop it to the upper 60s to around 70, and then we're going to be in the upper 60s to around 70. Here's Friday, and the weekend cools down. The weekend may be so cold we may not make it out of the 50s, so it's going to be pretty chilly on the weekend with that deep trough coming in, and I look forward to it. Let's go ahead and look at the dew points because they will be coming up. So here you go. Here are the dew points, and look at that. Dew points starting to rise tomorrow. You can see the wind barbs. It'll be a pretty strong southwest wind, so you can expect there'll probably be a decent sea breeze on Long Island. It'll probably be warmer in Jersey, and the South Shore will be the place to be. That's where it'll be nice and cool. Of course, the South Shore is always the place to be, it seems. So here you can see like a little weak backdoor front comes through on Sunday, knocks the temperatures and the dew points down. And then we're on the borderline with most of the moisture off to the south as far as the humidity goes. And then we get a little piece of it ahead of the next cold front, and then things improve Wednesday and Thursday once again. So, and then next weekend we have that really cold shot of air that's going to come in. So let's go ahead and look at the sky conditions. So tomorrow, here are the sky conditions for tomorrow. We're on the fringe of the clouds from Delta, so we may have some clouds. We're literally right on the fringe. It's going to be like high clouds. It's basically high clouds. We're on the fringe. And then we have this backdoor front that tries to push them to the south. Probably won't. So the skies will not be nice on the weekend probably. And then we are dealing with the clouds, obviously, from Delta. Tuesday we're dealing with the clouds. But then look at that. Wednesday we get out of it. We have a few more clouds on Thursday. Here comes the next front. And then we should have some sunshine on the weekend, though there may be some clouds just because it's going to be this is really cold air. It'll be very unstable. Let me look at the NAM model. Nope, that's the GFS. Let me look at the NAM. So here's the NAM. It keeps the high clouds just to the south, but I'm expecting there'll barely be a decent amount of clouds tomorrow. You won't have the nice sky that you had today. Well, we had puffy clouds, but it was a decent enough sky, and then more clouds for Sunday. It'll be frustrating because it will be clear just to the north, but let me look at we can look at one more sky model. That would be the RGEM. See, maybe the RGEM being a little more optimistic about it. Let's see. The RGEM's a little more optimistic about keeping the cirrus to the south tomorrow. We'll have to see. And it's also a little more optimistic. It's not so optimistic about Sunday, unfortunately, because it's a backdoor front. The clear air is really probably going to stay just to our north. And there are the remnants again of Delta coming through. And if we go to the NAM 12 kilometer, I don't think it's going to go far enough out. Let's see if it goes far enough out so we can look at when that rain moves in from the moisture. So the Delta's moisture moves in probably like after 8 o'clock on Sunday. and then it's going to be raining, and we're going to have rain through a good portion of Monday. It finally finishes up later on, and then so I guess that's going to bring this weather update to an end. So take care and have a good night.